we did a simple Sveltekit app such as this, a very simple app. We got it working through trial and error. We read the debug logs. I showed you how to figure stuff out for yourself. And what we did was we also added two custom domains, which were just the domain name and also the www.domain name and everything. We also troubleshooted through adding the domain name and also fixing the TLS certificate, which for some reason wasn't working. So you can see over here, maybe I'll leave it up for some time, but you can go to pocketpaste.shop or you could go to www.pocketpaste.shop. Both of them work. But the idea is that this is the exact same thing I used, or exact same setup I used for making my websites work with Railway. Hello everyone, NadLabs here. Today I'm going to go straight into showing you how you can set up a Sveltekit website from scratch. So you can see over here we have Svelte, and if you go over here to Sveltekit, which is like their full stack solution in a sense, totally free and open source by the way, which is insane. But I use Sveltekit a lot, and you can see over here I have 3 websites. I'm going to show you how you can put Sveltekit onto Railway, because if you go and click on Railway's docs and you go to the Sveltekit documentation site, as you can see, I just Googled Railway and Sveltekit, and you go to the first link and you scroll down and you're like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. And you click deploy with Railway, you get this, and you go over here to this app and you can see over here, you get something like this. I'm 90% sure this is not compatible, or the way this one is deployed does not work with the latest Sveltekit stuff that's been released so far. Because if you go over here to the actual details and you click update to V5, whatever that means, this was committed in November, committed on November 4th, 2024. And right now it's almost November 2025 right now. So with that being said, I'm going to show you how you can do it from scratch. Because if you actually go, let's say you go to like a blank directory on your computer, and you go to git bash, or what have you, or you just open in VS Code. So that's also something you can do. In fact, I'll do that option instead. I'll open this folder up in VS Code. Okay, open folder. Okay, I'm gonna go over here, select folder, and I'm going to make a new Sveltekit application. So I'm just gonna do that right now. So to make a new Sveltekit application, npx sv create tutorial for Railway. And I'm showing you how you can, like, from Sveltekit, you go to Railway instead of working backwards. So I'm just gonna do a minimal. I do not use TypeScript. I do like prettier, and we'll just do Tailwind, and we'll skip Sveltekit adapter just because I want to install it personally and show you how you can do it with an existing project too. So just wait for this to install. See, everything's going well. And I'll also show you how to do a custom domain as well. Okay, with that being said, it just finished. Okay, and we're just going to cd to that directory, and now we're just going to do npm run dev. Okay, and once we've done that, we can just go to localhost 5173, and we can see that everything works. And just to prove that everything works, as you can see over here, this is just like, I'm not clicking the link. You can see this is just a default like template that shows up. If you go to routes or roots and you just type in, doesn't matter, it appears here instantly. So now let's get this onto Railway. How do we do that? Well, the easiest way is to use GitHub. So I'm just going to go to GitHub. So now you can see I have the GitHub app open over here on the left. I just find it easier to use the app, and I feel like a lot of people do. It's just easier than the command line for me. And you can see over here in our project structure, so you have the drive, then the folder, the tutorial folder, and I have my tutorial Railway, right? And then I'm just gonna make this separate folder on the side called Git, and I'm gonna copy paste this path over here just to make it easier for everything to work out. And I'm just gonna name this, Svelte tutorial app, okay, whatever. And I'm gonna click create repository. Now I know this seems super childish, and I don't know a better way to do this, honestly, but I just find it easier to grab all my code and then put it into the folder that GitHub creates. That way I never have any problem. It takes a few seconds because Sveltekit's so small, and I do init commit, okay? And it's gonna ask me if when I publish, I'm not gonna keep this private. It's just like a public repo, so you can even check this out. I probably won't be deleting it. So that being said, I'm going to go to my GitHub. I'm going to see if it's really there. Okay, profile, and you can see it's over there. Svelte tutorial app, amazing. And now I'm going to go to Railway. So I'm going to go to Railway. Railway. I'm going to make a new project. Oh, by the way, if you enjoy or use Railway, you might want to use my code, maybe, please. I don't know. Okay, I'll explain more about it in the end of the video, but you can see over here in our new project, if I just reset the scale and zoom in a bit, you can see over here we have Svelte tutorial app. That's exactly what we just made. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to show you when you try deploying it as is, it's not going to work. Ready? And it was so frustrating because it's like, I don't want to use Vercel, but you know, Railway seems so promising, but how do I make it work? So you can see over here, we have deployment failed during build process. Let's read the error. It says build image, nixpacks, build fail, and it says why? Well, we don't have a start command. Okay, so how are we going to specify a start command? So I've opened up my GitHub repo and app in VS Code, and the best way to specify a start command is to go to package.json. Sorry, I always get confused between all the files that are generated. You can see over here, we have at least this build command, npm run build, and that's the same thing as vite build, okay? And we need a start command. So we're just gonna make a start command, and it's gonna be, I believe it's vite preview. But the thing that took me some time to figure out is it's not vite preview. I'll zoom in a bit. It's not vite preview that you actually wanna do over here in your package.json. Let me just get rid of the terminal. What you wanna do in your Sveltekit app is you wanna do in npm start, you wanna do vite preview -- host, like this. What the hell? Oh yeah, you don't want a space. It's space -- host. Right, like the only space you put is over here between previews W. Only space you want is between previews W and then the first dash. That's it. Okay. With that being said, you can actually run it. So npm run start, which is what Railway is trying to do over here. So if I go over here, you can see it's trying to run npm start. It's like we don't have that build command. So when I do that, we have a bit of an issue. The reason why it's not working is if you just read the errors like word for word. So server files are not found at this path. Did you run build first? I did not run build first. You're right. So npm run build. Okay, npm run build. And by the way, Sveltekit Railway automatically runs the build process, but we didn't have a start command. So now I run build, and you can see over here that .sveltekit has been generated, and it has like some output with the client and server and all that. I don't know how to do that stuff personally, but I know that Sveltekit does it for me, and I'm gonna be honest, it does a really good job. And then you can see over here we have a bunch of IP addresses. You can come attack my home if you want, but you really can't because these are all local. But the point is, now if I go to any one of these, open, you can see, okay, not all of them work. I'm honestly not too sure why, but you can see over here on my local IP address, which is 10.something, on my computer, which was the 246, at this port, we have Sveltekit running. Okay, so now I'm gonna stop the server. I'm gonna go say, update package.json. I'm going to commit this to Railway. Okay. And now if I go back to Railway, where the hell is it? It's over here. So it's over here. Okay. So now you can see it automatically starts. And it's like, oh, another issue. Okay. Failed to build the image. Why did you fail to build the image? Well, the reason why this image failed, and this is where the issue comes when you try to do it with the Sveltekit app itself, or like the Sveltekit Railway docs. Like whenever you try to run this, they do not tell you to do this. Okay. And I'm kind of shocked, but I found the only way to get this to work is if you go to settings, you scroll down, and you click nixpacks, you click railpack. I've seen a few tutorials talk about it, and I'm making another tutorial about it. But railpacks is kind of like a way better system for building apps. I'm not too sure what railpack is, but it works better than the nixpacks that they had, which I believe is based off some Node.js thing, but railpack works. And you can see I'm clearly just padding for time for this to build because I don't want to add a jump cut, but I think I'm going to because it's actually working. So you can see building the image, but there's going to be another issue. So this is not the end. There's another issue that comes from this, and honestly, to pad for a bit more timing, I think it's done actually, never mind. So you can see with railpack, it automatically identified the latest node version for us, or the node version that would work for our service. What the hell does that mean? Oh, okay. So you can see, deployment successful. Okay, so you think it works. So how do you actually visit it? Well, this is something that I didn't figure out until a while ago, but you actually have to scroll down and you have to click generate domain. And it says port. Okay, actually know what port to use. If you click generate domain on port 8080, like this, it's not gonna work. Okay, you can try it. So you go here, it says application failed to respond. Now that I know a bit more about, computer networking and all that, I realized that if you just typed in 4173, it might work. In fact, I'm going to try this. I haven't actually properly tried it yet, but I'm going to try it. So if I put the proper port in, we can see that we have an issue again. So even though Railway thinks it's working. It's actually not working because it says blocked request. This host, blah blah blah. This host over here is not allowed to allow this host add this URL to preview.allowed host in the vite.config.js. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, we'll go to vite.config.js. It's like, I don't see what you're talking about. Yeah, that's right. Because what you have to do is you actually have to go over here and you have to type in preview, because we're running the preview command. Remember, over here in package.json, we're running start, or so railway. Okay, so railway run start, and that tells our code or our app to do vite preview -- host. So we're going to go over here to preview, and we're configuring how this preview command runs. We're configuring how this one word runs, and what we're going to say is we're going to say allowed host. You can see it's even like a object that comes up through IntelliSense. It's an array, and you're just going to type in the URL that is going to allow your app to run, where your app is running. If you put a custom domain here, you have to put that custom domain, like, I don't know, like I have GoGoTestMe, so I'd have to do gogotest.me, and then it would work. But I'm not using GoGoTestMe on this app, so I'm not going to do that. And then I go over here, let's say updated vite.config.js. I'm going to push. So then I go back to Railway, which is over here. Sorry for the sudden flashes between black and white. I really apologize. But you can see we're building again. So deployments. So it took us a few times. So you got to remember, this one didn't work because it was the initial. Then we updated, it didn't work. Then we updated again, it worked. It updated again and it was active. But now we have to actually make sure we can visit the website and see stuff on it. And I'm going to show you how you can even add a domain, because I found that took a bit of time. And also, okay, so it worked. Okay, so which one do I want? Okay, you can go to the same website link, and you can see over here we have our app up and running. And I didn't mean to click that again, but you can see our app is up and running and everything is fine. Like, this is a global link that anyone can go to. Okay, I think I'll show how to do. I think I'll show how to do custom domains as well, just because I found it took a bit of time to like figure out by myself. So I'm just going to make it quick tutorial so anyone else can figure it out too. But let's say you want to add a custom domain and you want to share this beautiful website with the world. So what you want to do is you want to go to settings, you want a custom domain, and it's going to ask you for the domain you've bought. I personally use Porkbun. I find it amazing. And the address that I'm going to be working with is pocketpaste.shop. Okay, so I'm going to do a pocketpaste.shop. I'm going to do 4173. I'm going to click add domain. Okay, it's going to give me some DNS records. Domain name service. Don't worry about what DNS means. It's not that scary. So you're gonna. I don't know why Railway does this, but it says CNAME. Okay, and maybe your domain provider allows this, but when I do CNAME and I do @ and I copy paste this value, so I copied it. I'm gonna go to Porkbun over here. I'm gonna paste the value. Click add. It goes. Sorry, you can't have CNAME on the root name directory. Blah blah. It took me a while, but if you just read every single entry, you can see that we have a alias, okay? And it says CNAME flattening record. If I click add, it doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work is because we already have something here. So I'm going to delete that. Again, this might be specific to Porkbun, but at the same time, I also believe that the idea of just pasting and copying values may help you. So what I did right now was I deleted what Porkbun had, which is pixie.porkbun.com, and I said, okay, if someone types in pocketpaste.shop now, it should take them to this website or this like domain type name, and it should, obviously if I go to this, it's not going to respond. But the issue is, or the idea is, if someone types into their browser pocketpaste.shop, Google Chrome or whatever browser you're using will go ask, hey, they'll ask like this global database, like, where does pocketpaste.shop go? And it's like, oh, it goes to this link. Okay, and then this link kind of holds the pointer to where my website lives. And if I dismiss this, I go to pocketpaste.shop, advanced, unsafe. You see, we get the same thing. It says blocked request not working. And by the way, the reason why you saw the error at the start is it's issuing the TLS certificate, which is like the HTTPS stuff. So don't worry, Railway does that all for you. So it's just pocketpaste.shop not working. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here to my code for my app, and I'm gonna do pocketpaste.shop, and now you can see that if I commit and push this. And by the way, this doesn't need to be said, but obviously that pocketpaste.shop is something I own. You can't use it. You have to buy your own domain, which is not that expensive if you use Porkbun. I'm not sponsored by them, but I love their service. A friend showed it to me, and I've nonstop talked good things about them. Love Porkbun. But anyways, you can see we're building again. And this is actually what I did when I was first figuring it out. I had to like build like 1,000 times. But anyways, we can see we're building, and you see pocketpaste.shop is right there. So I'm going to close this. I opened it again. Oops. But what I meant to do is click on this deployment details. You can see that everything is running fine. And over here, there's a link. So you can go to pocketpaste.shop. And again, HTTPS is not fully configured yet. If we go to settings, scroll down, you can see it's still issuing the TLS certificate. So don't be too frightened by that. But there's one last thing I took me some time to figure out. Sorry, this tutorial is going longer than it should, but www.pocketpaste.shop doesn't work. Why? Because we actually haven't specified that top level domain over there. So we haven't specified www. To do that, and this is where Vercel has like crippled me in being able to figure this stuff out, but I'd have to actually do www.pocketpaste.shop. I have to actually go out and put www on that thing, type in the port, okay? And then it says, oh, go to your CNAME and type www. This is also what took me some time. I know I sound stupid, but this took me some time. You have to put name. When it says name over here, it means host over here. I don't know if it's different for anyone else, but for me, I figured like, oh, okay, where's name? Okay, this is host, same thing. And then the value or the answer is this one. And click add. And I'm getting very lucky right now. Everything's updating, but sometimes they actually do take hours. I find around 10 p.m. EST is when it takes a bit of time, or around like 12 p.m. EST or 12 a.m. EST. So Eastern Standard Time. It takes longer to update, but right now at like, I don't know, 11 a.m. it doesn't take too long. So you can see over here, www.pocketpaste.shop. It is still validating domain ownership. So incorrect DNS setup. I don't really know. I've never seen that before, but I know if I go over here to www, it's not working. Why is it not working? Incorrect DNS. Okay, so show setup issues. Okay, if I scroll down. Okay, so it seems to have been stuck. Oh, okay, so when it has the wildcard, so star is the wildcard according to this. See, it says use star to create a wildcard. Please note that alias records do not support wildcards. I believe it would be better if we did www and then put it over here. See, I still get messed up with this stuff. Okay, so it's saying I already have www, so I'm going to get rid of the type CNAME. I want to make it an alias instead. www, it should work. Okay, it worked. See over here at the bottom, I have www and dismiss. How do I tell it I actually changed it? Okay, it may be better to delete and try again. So I'm going to add a custom domain, www.pocketpaste.shop 4173. Okay, I'm going to go to CNAME. I'm going to go change this value here to whatever it just gave me. Save. I know the UI is horrible, but basically all I did was put this value in. So you can see over here, so if I just copy and paste, you can see alias www.pocketpaste.shop, and it should, still thinks it has the wrong DNS. Okay, so you can see over here, this UI hasn't updated, but I waited like a few seconds, and you can see over here, now it's saying you have to go add www.pocketpaste.shop. So what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go to my vite.config.js. I'm gonna close my package.json. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna add www.pocketpaste.shop. I'm gonna go over here. Okay, update vite.config.js, and once I do that, you can see if I go back real quick, it's building again. But that's because I have to change that one variable. And the thing I love about Railway, or it's not something to love, but it's like really handy and nice to know in the back of my mind that there's no build minutes. Vercel actually does charge you or it will charge you per build minute, which I find is crazy because sometimes things break and you just got to continue building and changing and iterating. But you can see I'm not charged for actually building a bunch. And if I go over here real quick to pocketpaste.shop, go to deployments, and I click on this one. If I go over here, I go to pocketpaste.shop. It's still setting up. This is the longest I've ever seen it take to set up this domain. But if I go over here to settings, issuing TLS certificate. So it's still doing it. I'm not sure why it's taking too long. Why it's taking long, because hasn't taken this long ever before. Of course, it's going to take long during a tutorial recording, but you can see now if I go to www.pocketpaste.shop, it is not working. Now it should work. Sorry, it takes some trial and error, and I'm showing you the trial and error in real time, but what you just saw me do kind of silently was I deleted the original CNAME record, which was just pocketpaste.shop on the CNAME with like the star.pocketpaste.shop, and it had pixie.porkbun. As you can see over here, it says I found the incorrect value. I was like, okay, so I'll just delete that, add a CNAME with www.pocketpaste.shop, put this value in, and then save it. And now if I dismiss, go to pocketpaste.shop, it works. Okay, so www.pocketpaste.shops with HTTPS, by the way. And then we also have without www, because you know that's a thing nowadays. This one does work, but it doesn't have HTTPS. I'm not too sure what's that about, but I'm assuming if I just, you know, delete, so where the hell is it? If I just do this 4173 and do this, change this value over here. So change, save it. Okay. Oh, it's working. Setup complete. Okay, I do not know why the TLS certificate is not working, but you can see it works for www.pocketpaste.shop. I'm sure I'm just completely forgetting something, or I'm doing something weird or wrong during the tutorial, obviously. But I like to show a demo or a example. So GoGoTestMe is a website I own, and you can see I have HTTPS on it for just the simple gogotest.me, and I also have www.gogotest.me. As you can see over here, it has HTTPS, so I'm not too sure what's wrong, but just know that it is possible. Yeah, not too sure about this one, Chief. Huh, that's so weird. I've never seen that before. But www.pocketpaste.shop works, so honestly, more people go to the www version of it, then maybe it's... This is really bothering me, but I'm basically done the tutorial at this point. Oh, it's working. Actually, it's working. Okay, so it's just like a cache thing. So it is working. Okay, I don't want to leave the tutorial saying, hey, railway sucks and I'm mixing something out. It's the fact that this not secure is actually a cached version that my browser has. And there's nothing I can do to actually get rid of the cache other than close my browser and open it again, or like restart my computer or clear my cache manually. And one other thing to note, which is you do need the hobby plan, which is $5 a month. But I believe this hobby plan is cheaper than Vercel, which kind of addicts you to their platform and then forces you to use them, and $25 a month. You know, pick your poison, up to you. And I think these guys offer better. So if I go over here to usage, or you can see that I believe these guys offer a better, more realistic use or pay per use plan than Vercel does, but at the same time, up to you if you want to shovel $5 over to them. I think it's completely worth it, and if you want, I believe I also have a referral for you if you'd like. If you want to, you get $20 in credits for signing up if you use my link or my code, which is in the description. But with that being said, let's get started with the tutorial, or if you're watching this at the end of the video, have a great day. Also, by the way, there was a point when I was recording this, I'm going to this is going to be spliced in, but I was recording the outro and I was like, oh my gosh, www stopped working. Why did it stop working? It stopped working because the DNS was still updating, and it kind of like got stuck with a old version or an old like DNS record, and it wasn't working. But if I scroll down over here, it says incorrect DNS record, but now you can see, I'm not sure why. Oh, okay. It just updated. I can't even explain this. This is amazing. This is such an amazing platform. You can see over here, it just updated. It was working. So www works, and pocketpaste.shop works. Again, no. So you can see over here, I have HTTPS, but it says your connection to the site is insecure. If I open up a new browser window, if I go to pocketpaste.shop, you can see HTTPS and www HTTPS. The reason why I had to use a new like browser window / account is because this is like separated, or like this cache is separated from this browser's cache. Like they're different. So, you know, that's just something to be aware of, but you know, it does work. I promise everything I showed you in the video does work. It just wasn't working when I was just like showing it live. But the second I'm done my recording, it starts working, which honestly makes a lot of sense. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Have a great day. it's not. Oh, what the hell is this?